Yes, see. Oh, Stacey,
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes, I'm back. Yeah, this is called a technical glitch, and you gotta roll with whatever that happens. Yeah. So of course, I was saying the key coordinators, the role that you play will show the visibility. So how well you play this role will translate to how the members see how well you do in your business as well. So in BNI, we believe that what you do, how you do something is how you do everything, right? So this is why we want to know our roles, and it's not just about doing it, but it's being that coordinator. Then you will play differently. People can feel that energy coming out from you, yeah? So the coordinator that I'll be covering is education coordinator. So education coordinator doesn't mean you need to do the education every week by yourself, yeah? So you help to coordinate the education slots that is happening every week, yeah? In the meeting is 3 to 5 minutes, okay? And sometimes you can even ask your director consultant to take the NEC, which is the network education slot. Okay, so what does the education chapter coordinator do? It depends on what your chapter needs. Okay, so you need to know what your chapter needs. So how do you know what your chapter needs? It comes from your president, okay? Because president would have met up with the LT doing weekly meetings and the MC team. So that's where the topics will come up on what they want to focus on. So that's where you are able to structure this network education. Okay, so I have some of the ideas here where you can look at it. So you remember the talk with membership committee, you can do it yourself, but the president will be the one doing it for you. So that helps you to simplify things, yeah? So membership committee, then you can narrow down to topics. You first want to gather some information. You can do surveys in the chapter as well. And during your one-to-one daily interaction with the members, you would have somehow feeling of what they need to improve on, what they need to work on. Sometimes they share feedback as well. So these are the things that you will want to discuss with the president on, I have this feedback. Is it okay if we focus on this? Yeah. So the key thing is we want to make sure that the members know that networking is more about farming, okay, and it's not about hunting. We want to cultivate relationship as well. Yeah. So if you attend a monthly leadership roundtable, you will have more in-depth understanding of what the topics that you want to work on as well. Okay. And you yourself will need to be reviewing BNI University to search for relevant topics and look at education moments. Yeah. So when we talk about hot topics, right, we want to assign to the member. Some chapters, good practice is they assign the member, if the member is weak in visitors, they assign the topic on certain podcasts on, of course, to invite, how to invite visitors. Then the member have to go and listen, and he has to teach, right? So when we teach, we learn more. Yeah, so this can be one of the strategy you can use. Okay, so the content must help the member improve their networking skills, increase visibility, credibility, and profitability. So that means that you need to ensure the member can present well. Someone that can speak well as well, because it's someone who can't speak well during the presentation, that would bring his visibility down and that will affect his credibility. So our role as an education coordinator is to assign the topic. After that, you would have done your research on the podcast and the topic that you want the member to take and do for the week. We will plan out. Okay, later on I will send in the document of the education planning document in the chat. You can download it and use it for yourself. So after you have assigned a podcast, you want to do a rehearsal. Ask the member to prepare a short 3 to 5 slides and do a rehearsal to ensure the message that you want to give is still there. Yeah. So we also need to look at how many % of our members are, of course, have attended all the 5 trainings as well, because education is continuous, right? Okay, so before presenting the need to guide the members on this. Before presenting, what is one thing that you want member to get out of this education moment? How would that topic relate to business in terms of what is happening in the chapter? Okay, so it could be like you do not want the sales salesperson to do a sales topic. Yeah, although it's related, but that will not help him to improve his skill set. Okay, so you want to relate to a topic like today if they are talking about visitors, how this member always share and invite visitors. So there's many topics that we can work on. If we talk about referral education, right, developing solid weekly presentation and feature presentation could be one. Okay, developing a context here that truly complements a profession. That could be another edu topic that you can look. Okay, implementing a plan and puts gain philosophy or the forefront and helping others, providing peer to during the meeting. So these are the topics that you can look into for referral. Okay. And why is this topic important to know and implement, and what the members need to know to implement this idea? That could come from the podcast. Okay, where might the member get the resources? Okay, so what we want is we want to learn more to earn more. That will help us to generate more referrals and profit in BNI, yeah, through educating each other. So the resources will be here. YouTube, BNI Connet, there's a channel that will help you, bni.com, dr.ivanmeisner.com, right? So BNI University is another area that can get all the topics. Okay, and you can also ask your BNI director for support and ideas. Okay, so this is what BNI University look like. You just need to type in the search, then the podcast will come out and presenting as well. Okay, so you need to do a bit of background work. Okay, so with this education, that's about internal chapter education, but we want to go on to the next row where it's talking about BNI events. Okay, because that part we have education as well. Okay, so we want to learn more to earn more, right? So BNI external trainings like member success program, advanced workshop, national events, and chapter socials. These are all under events coordinator. So some chapters have two events coordinator. One is to do the education slot, another is to do the events social. Okay, but one thing about events coordinator is do not restrict yourself to just posting the message HQ post to sign up for the education. Yeah. So some of the members in other chapters, what they do is during the weekly meeting, when the education timetable is given out, they actually describe and talk about this education segment. Like today I have an advanced referral workshop. What can you learn during the workshop? Who can you meet? And they can also get a member who has attended to share the testimonial about it. Yeah. So all this will help to tease up. That means get more interest. So the events coordinator KPI is to look at how many % of your chapter members participate in these events. If you have a training, how many % participate? So looking at the participation level, you can tweak. How can I make it better so that all my chapters are on the same ground? We are all learning together. The quality of referrals we're going to give, business we're going to give will be together as well. So that will build up the confidence among each other. Yeah. Okay, so why attend the trainings is for growth, not just in terms of in BNI, but in personal and well, the skill set and always bring it back to your business, increase referral, and of course we have better skill set to invite visitors. That will help to expand the network for your members. And if you attend a training physically, that is 4 CEU, where you need to sit for 5 podcasts to get 1 CE, right? So to get 4, that is quite a lot, yeah? So we may want to go to the training so that we can network. So it may be the content may be the same, but because of the participants, the examples that they share, the experience that they have had, that will enrich your skill set in the same topic. You will see it from different angles. So do you all agree that at different point in time, we learn different things? If you all agree, please type 111. Okay, so that's why we can sharpen our skill set. So every time you want to go for a training, always tell yourself, I want to have one takeaway for the day. Okay, then just focus on what you can learn that is something that you have not thought about. Then that training will be worth it. Okay, is to maximize our capacity as leaders. Okay, and chapter retention and growth, Jonathan has spoke about it. We want to make sure that the chapter that is closely knitted when they learn together, right? They bond together, they build relationship, and that will help in retention because we learn and we have skill set to give better referrals, right? So that will translate into growth as well. So event coordinator for the social part, now we can't do physical, so please restrict yourself, but online we still can bond. We want to make sure tell the chapter members that we are there for each other. So there are some of the creative ways that some chapters have done. They have virtual team bonding games, they have virtual tour that I think there is a member that does this, and if you go to Japan, he will ship a box of Japanese related items where you can eat, enjoy, and do the tour at the same time. So it's super cool. Okay, then eating breakfast together. I've seen cereals being sent to all the members and they eat together before the meeting. Care packs started in COVID. That's where all the nitty gritties that they need and snacks. Yeah, even Chinese New Year goodie bags can be done. So you can see this chapter very creative. They do Yusen, Lao Yusen, right, at their own place, individual ones. Okay, so be creative. We still need to continue building relationship. That's where the bond is. Okay, so the events, I just want you all to take note. The national events will be 11th June will be the Singapore's Members Day, and there is Global Convention 6 to 9 October 2021. Yeah, so this will also be sent to the events coordinator when the date comes nearer. So I'm just preempt telling you so that you are able to block off in your calendars. Yeah, so October is so we will see how the situation goes. So with this, I just want to leave you with this quote. Okay, if everyone is moving forward together, then success it takes care of itself. Yeah, so we want to grow our chapters. Just now I see all the numbers. We want to bring everyone together. Then we need to learn together and bond together. So with this, I would like to pass on the next segment of other coordinators over to Lawrence.
Right, let's thank Stacy, right? Give a clap or reaction, right? Let's thank Stacy for the for the sharing, because she took a long time to prepare this. In fact, all our trainers this morning, this afternoon, and this evening we spent till on Saturday and Sunday till 1 a.m. Right? We started at 10 p.m. Of course, we didn't start at 6 p.m. Right? Right, but Wan Ling, you raised your hand. Is there anything that you want to share, Wan Ling?
No, I just wanted to do a clap.
Clap. Okay, so it became a raise hand. Okay. Thank you. Right, so Lawrence, you're next. Over to Lawrence. Is it? Yay. Okay, so Lawrence is currently the DC for Abundance, and definitely one of our top BNI Connect trainers because he in the IT line. So definitely, okay. So currently will be taking over the role of the soon. Okay, and one of the BNI Connect is conducted by him, and there will be one coming up. So BNI Connect also every 3 months. So please sign up for this BNI Connect, because I have members that receive referrals from Melbourne, right, through BNI Connect, and the total done deal is over $20,000, right? So with that, over to Lawrence.
Hey, good afternoon. Yep. Thank you all the leadership team and support team, and thank you Stacy for the great sharing, and thank you Jonathan. Now the next coordinator that I'll go on will be talking about BNI one-to-one and BNI Connect and going green. Now the very first one, we're going to talk about one-to-one coordinators. Now how many one-to-one coordinators are in this training today? Could you just put a 1, or you're the first time be a one-to-one coordinator? Could you just put a 1 in the chat?
No, just put a one-to-one.
One-to-one. Yes, yeah. Thank you, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Well, thank you, Wan Ling. Thank you, Dana. Okay. Kenneth. Well, a lot. Okay. Now, what is the basic role of one-to-one coordinators? I think a lot of you will be wondering what does one-to-one coordinator actually really do? Okay, these are the actual roles and responsibilities you take care of. First thing is that you actually do pairing when advised by VP and MC, where those certain members that need to be do one-to-one, and then you actually encourage members to do one-to-one. So how you actually I'll talk about how we're going to do that and all this later. So you encourage members so that you can actually pick up appointment with them and do one-to-one with them, and this will also allow the VP and MC so that they can track, and so that when quality one-to-one is being done, and so that we can actually generate referrals for the chapters. And as far as you all understand, every one-to-one will lead to one referral. As I think the whole morning, I think to all the presidents, VP and Secretary Treasurer, this whole morning until now, we talk about all the quality members that we want, and all the quality one-to-one that we do will lead to one referrals every time one-to-one is done. Okay, and one-to-one coordinators, you will usually be the first few to do one-to-one with the new members. Why? Because you need to explain to them and even how to fill up the most important things which we do use for one-to-one, which is your bio sheet, your gains, and even your top 10 customers and your contact here. And lastly, what we call is a power date. So this is a more advanced version of one-to-one. So what actually is a power date? So a power date is when you do meet up with your client and you actually go with one of your members together, of course with the permission of the client, together, so to go and see your client, and then you actually have a power date over there so that you can even introduce your members' trade or his product or even his services over to your client, which actually benefits by versa. So it's the same where the members will also bring you as a one-to-one coordinator together, so to meet his client, so that he can actually even pass his client over to you, so that when they know that they understand that each of you need, when looking for referrals, that you understand that there is a need for certain services and products. Okay, now moving forward, why is one-to-one coordinator important? Okay, so basically you guide them to use your gains profile. So how to use your gains profile? I mean, can I just ask how many of you actually start from gains, which is your goals first? Now, if you start from goal first, could you just put a 1 in the chat group, please? I think everyone of you use your gains profile, right? Okay, thank you. If you can, thank you. Okay. But do you all understand that actually you don't have to start with the goals? And basically, the best part to start is actually the interest. The interest, because when we talk about interest, it's easier to find a common topic. So when you understand your members' interest, and for example, I like to go for movies. So you actually explore what kind of movie that the members will like, and you can even schedule if there's an incoming movie that you all both like to see and all this kind of thing. So with that, right, then it's easier to build out the momentum. Then you can actually share more things over there. So actually using the gains profile, it will be very good to put it in a sense that you start from the I first. Now, as I mentioned just now, you're the first few of contact in the chapter. Most likely will be after all the mentors. So this is the one that you actually really teach them. It's also enforce how to actually fully utilize what we call about all the sheets that we have, all the one-to-one worksheet. And as you all understand that these activities which you all are guiding new members or even existing members for the referral process. As we all understand, this whole thing is to generate referrals, win more business for our chapter. And that means more thank you for close business. So that's why we are actually looking for quality one-to-one. So it is also you as a one-to-one coordinator is so important to ensure that referral is being generated. And everyone benefits from all of this quality one-to-one they have. And you are the one that actually bridging new members to existing members. So some of the, I think most likely Tommy also mentioned this afternoon about some of the seasoned members and all the new members, how they actually need to integrate together so that they can actually do understand and bond together. So as we all understand that these are the 4 things. and you are the one that actually handheld them if possible. And of course, you can bring them a blank one, and you can actually let them know what are the things that they need to fill up. On your bio sheet, James, and even your contact here and top 10 customers. And I think some of you might be worried about what is the difference between contact here and power team. I think later Jake will explain that in detail. Now, these are the things that you can actually encourage them to use, and every one-to-one we need this to be done, and that you can actually handle them to that all this up. And not only that, later, next we'll talk about BNI Connect. Some of the things can be even filled out in your BNI Connect. Now, I will also encourage the one-to-one coordinator to advise all the members that to have what you see here. It might be an Excel spreadsheet or just your chapter's member name. You record down when you actually do a one-to-one with them. I mean, normally it will be good to do one-to-one every 2 times with a member within a year, so that you understand more and you start to understand more about the business, and easier for you to generate referrals. Okay. Now next we move on to BNI Connect coordinator. Oh yeah, sorry. One last thing. If you want to find more about one-to-one and all this, how to visualize all this bio sheet and all this stuff, do attend the advanced MSc one-to-one training. Now, moving forward, BNI Connect. Now, how many of you are first-time BNI Connect coordinators? Can I just put a 1 in the chat group? Oh, thank you, Tom. Thank you, Henry. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you very much. Okay, now what is the role of BNI Connect coordinator? Now, first things first, whenever a new member comes in, the very first thing the BNI Connect coordinator is to ensure that they can log in. Yeah, yes, it's always true, and if they have problems logging in, please get them, please liaison with them, and then you get help from our national office. Yeah, I think Desiree is very willing to help you with all the issues and all this stuff. Just let her know. She will coordinate with you and make sure that they can log in. Because why? That will that basically because where we utilize our BNI Connect app, and also encourage them to download the app and use the app or the browser version to key in all the stuff that we need to key in, like your one-to-one, your thank you for close business, your referrals and all this stuff. And of course, explain to them how to update their profile. So as far as I understand, those that have went for your BNI Connect training, you will know that we actually teach inside there all how you actually update all your profile and all these things. Yeah, I will explain why is it so important about all this profile later. Now, and what is the basic usage like I mentioned just now, how to use the portal, how to log in, and how some of the basic functions, and encourage members to use BNI Connect for business. I think by now we should know BNI Connect, let us connect worldwide over 74 countries with 275,000 members. Yep. So it is a very important tool. And I think this morning when Candy shared about the visitor orientation, talk about how this tool can actually help. And moving forward, why is it so important is that because you should encourage all members to use this tool, because it is such a very big search tool. You can almost search for everything inside there. You don't need Google. You only need our BNI Connect. You can search for members. You can look for members if you need to expand overseas and all this. You can even search for what kind of different traits you need to work with when you need overseas and all this stuff, and even locally in that sense. Okay. Now it's also a personal performing tool because, as I mentioned just now, you log in and you key in your referrals, and you receive referrals inside there. And with that, you can also track your thank you for close business. In actual fact, all the referrals you receive, you can actually have, you can key in whether has it turned into a thank you for close business or you have not done anything, no deal has been done on it. So it is also a marketing tool. That's why you need to update all your profile properly. And these are the things that people will look at, especially overseas members, when they are searching inside the BNI Connect, it will look at your profile. It will look at things that what you write inside there. So these are the things that the more information you provide, and the more easier for them to actually choose you. And it is also a client relation management tool because all this, when we key in all this stuff inside there, it actually allows you to manage the relationship you have with all the connections that you have, because as we say, you can search for them and you can actually get connected with overseas members through the connection, and you can actually ask for certain things or ask for their help. I mean, the best part is if you are, before COVID, of course, we can travel and we can actually visit overseas chapters. BNI Connet is so important that we can actually look for members overseas and you can actually message them and you can tell them that we are going over to visit your chapter. Now, the last thing is what get measures get done is because, simple, everything we key in about referrals and all this, where our VP will track all the performance. So I will urge everyone to key in as much information about, of course, please do not rubbish in, rubbish out. Don't key any that's rubbish, but key in all your correct referrals, correct thank you for close business. This will also update all the way until the chapter traffic light and the members traffic light. Okay? And lastly, whenever overseas members are looking for any collaboration in Singapore, they also ask for one more. They will also ask for one thing, which I'm going over now. They will always ask for a green member, and that's where our Go Green coordinator will be doing. Okay. Now, can I just ask how many Go Green coordinator in this training now? And those that are first time or even second time, just put a 1 there. I just want to know who are the Go Green coordinator. Oh, thank you, Christine. Thank you, Angela. Okay. Thank you, Tom. Now, what does the Go Green coordinator do? It's actually very simple. You just have to make sure there's no grey member. It's not difficult. It just has to work hand in hand with the mentor coordinator and the one-to-one coordinator. Of course, why? Because basically, you will receive the members traffic light from your VP. That which you actually need to identify who are the grey members, and actually Go Green coordinator will only mainly take care of the members in member. So then you can actually discuss with the ambassador or your DCs about members that are in the red, and those that are in the grey, the MC will handle them. So that's why you work hand in hand with the VP and the MC, and of course the mentor if they need, okay, to assign a mentor to actually mentor the member. For it, a new member or for it, a seasoned member or SEC member, sometimes it's always a compassionate ground that as a Go Green coordinator, find out what's the reason behind members from maybe amber, drop to red, and all the way to grey. There will definitely have issues that the member is facing. So we will need to find out from them and always encourage to do one-to-one with them and all this so that to find out more rather than to straight away say, oh, grey member, just let go. No. As a Go Green coordinator, yes, we know that we have to talk about to make sure all this grey member can move themselves into at least amber. And please, I will also encourage you to go and feedback to your LC team that whenever members have moved within a 6-month period or for continuous 6 months, they have moved out from grey to all the way to amber or even green, give them the recognition. I think they will be very happy that they are being recognized, and they really, some of them has put in an effort. Okay, now coming back, this is the same as what I think Vern showed in the early afternoon. So these are the same thing, that what are the things, what are the members traffic light we will look out for, and it's not difficult. It's definitely 1 referral per week, and it's 0 absentee, no late, and you definitely have 2 visitors a month, 1 one-to-one per week, and of course the training, which we will encourage. You came for any kind of online training and all this stuff, which as stated here, all this advanced training, MSc and all this will give you already the 4 credit. So just have to attain 1 credit, 1 training per month. Of course, if you really don't have the time, like what we always say, you can go up to your BNIU to do all your training. Now, lastly, I just want to say, let all of us go green. Okay, and thank you very much. And back to you, Jonathan.
Right. Thank you. So did you all learn something today about one-to-one? Because it's essential. Because why? Actually, the best thing about one-to-one is this. It's a gamification. You understand? I mean, not one-to-one. BNI Connect, where you key in all the things. BNI Connect is a gamification. Those gamers here, put up your hand. Gamers, right? Because why? When you key in your one-to-one, you key in your referral, you key in your visitors, you key in all that, right? What's going to happen? It's going to showcase that. Hey, wow, the more I key in is related to what? My referrals. The more I have, the result is referrals and done deals. You all with me? Give me a thumbs up, right? So one-to-one, visitors, all that is gamification, and BNI has been doing gamification since the last 36 years. So definitely we are there in terms of playing game, but we are playing game to get referrals, to playing games to get referrals. So thank you, Lawrence. Yes, very good education. Lawrence, if you can, please key in the dates for the BNI Connect, right? Key in the dates so that they know and reserve the dates. I'll have everyone go, because why? Then that's where you can experience. And I have people building up videos, right? Putting videos onto the one-to-one, way of saying one-to-one, BNI Connect platform, right? Putting their own videos over there. So, right, we are all in the space of visibility. So with that, thank you, Lawrence. Please put in yes. So I'm going to continue. Right, we left here. Okay, I left 4 more slides, right? 4 more slides. So this is really the Singapore dream. I know we can make it. Let's all go up for it and bring in more members, right, to hold this, right? And next thing I like to emphasize is the BNI Code of Ethics. How do you know of that, right? When you first become a first member, most of us recited this and now we said, I will, correct? So I want to say that, hey, let's display, one of the main thing or core value is display a positive and supportive attitude. And that's what makes BNI entrepreneurs different from outside. Yeah, right, like last year with the pandemic, people say, oh, it's so challenging and all that. You know, is it not challenging for us? It's the same. But we handle it with what? Positive attitude. And that makes us the difference. Okay, so next.
Johnson.
Yes.
I think there is one more. I think Jake will explain about the
the next slide is it?
Task Force. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So remember, it's okay. No worries. I'm just going to share that part. So, all right. If you are ready, let's take it over. The passport. Yes, passport to success. Is it? Yay. You got it? Fixing it up. So like I said, you know, let's display a positive and supportive attitude for our members and also our visitors, because that's where you represent yourself, you're ambassador of your own company, your own self, as well as the members in your chapter. Yeah. And for those that key in and type, you see, that's one way of getting visibility. Do you know a small secret I'm going to share with you? Is this. When during the open networking, when you talk, right, your photo, your screen will be at the top. And if you close your screen, of course, it's going to be on page 3 or page 4. Okay. But if you talk, you will be in the same line as your leadership team, which is your president, vice president, and your secretary treasurer. Because when you talk, your slides, your photo, your Zoom photo goes up in the front. But those that don't talk, or even like when you're keying in the chat, people can see, you're making positive comments. So this is a way of displaying positive attitude. Okay, do you all get something? Right, it's not about BNI. If you are in a conference and you are sharing something positive, you say, hey, great point, Lawrence, right? I love that, right? I support you, you know, I care, for example, like those you type, you actually become visible among all the people that remain quiet, right? Or they switch off their videos. I'm sure some of you have seen that, not in BNI, outside of BNI, you know, those in the training. And you are so proud. I'm so proud to see all of you with the BNI logo. Lawrence, are you taking over from here?
Sorry, Jonathan. I think Lawrence is
yeah. Okay. So now our next trainer. Sorry. I got all Yes. Next trainer is Jay. So Jay, he called himself the mushroom farmer in a suit, because his industry is actually supplying mushroom, fresh and also those that can be used as an experiment, or rather not experiment, but as a tool for educational purpose, right? And he sells the snack in 7-Eleven as well, or rather he distributes them in 7-Eleven, and he's Jay is one of our also national trainer. So over to you, Jay.
Thank you, Jonathan. I know you're very excited to share the development plans. And I think this is also one segment that will be very helpful for all our members who wants to spend X number of time and get a lot more results by growing the chapter. So for these two particular coordinators, they are exceptionally helpful because it will take a bit of time to get used to. However, I can reassure you that once this task has been set in stone, it will run like clockwork. It will help all our performing members to get many times their ROI in their membership in BNI. So the first thing for presentation task force, I saw that just now there were a few members asking what is PTF. So essentially, maybe not all the chapters have embarked on this mission to help all their members to become better presenters. So maybe I would like to start off with the presentation task force by asking, what is your impact? And this is especially important right now because we can't see each other physically. We can only see each other online. And that is why the expression, the presentation is a lot more important. If you are part of the presentation task force, you are not alone. You are to form a team that you can assist the secretary treasurer to prepare showcase speakers in advance. And you will also help to support the creation of effective presentations for all our members. Not only that, when members are effective in their presentations, they can better educate the chapter, and it also increases the energy of the chapter meeting. Just like looking at this EDM, when you send this out through your social media or you send through WhatsApp or email to your connections, you are able to create more connections for them to visit your chapter because they will be interested to find out what this person has to say. And just to recap, I know this is part of the MSP process, which many of us should have already been familiar, but let's just look at it. Presentations are very important because one of it is your weekly presentation. It is part of your plan of action where you're asking your chapters to give you the referrals. And through doing your one-to-ones, you can educate your members and build relationships. Just like what Lawrence has mentioned just now, we can start off by talking about our interests. As well as when you actually pass referrals, you can evaluate how you and your members actually work. And importantly, the feature presentation showcases in a 6 to 8 minutes time slot how you handle their referrals and help them to upgrade from just the transactional referrals to have more relationship referrals. And as you can see, time is money. If you actually go and calculate, okay, but the number of minutes you have as airtime in BNI, you can actually imagine if your meeting is 52 weeks per year, okay, 52 meetings per year, you only have 30 seconds for your weekly presentation, and you only get 2 time slots. Your 8 minutes of your feature presentation, that actually works out to be 38% of your annual airtime in BNI, which means that if you do not do it well, I'm sorry, you are throwing away 38% of your investment in BNI. And that is why this is very, very important. It is also one of the income producing activities of a member, and not only have I mentioned that, you add relationship to transactional connections as well. So in example, this is an EDM where we can actually plan in advance. So the presentation task force can advise the secretary treasurer in terms of the scheduling. Hey, are there any members who have similar contact spheres that if we put their presentation together and come up with a catchy tagline, can we share the resources and help them target their visitors to come to the same meeting? And that is where we help to delegate. As the presentation task force, you are coordinating and setting up a timeline for showcase speakers to submit the first draft of their presentation without any visuals at all, just the point form. And when you can help them with the point form, help them shortlist their visitors, they will be able to then catch up with the members to find out from them one very important question. Hey, what is it about me that you still do not know enough about? And then I can go and put it in my presentation so much so that everyone will be able to answer the questions at the same time. And in the worst case, if any of the speakers are unable to come up with a draft, or they are unable to rehearse, or they simply do not know what they want to be sharing in this point in time, you can inform the secretary treasurer to change to another speaker if you are unable, if they are unable to to be reviewed and to be ready to present on their original time slot. So these are some of the guidelines that will be covered. Actually, most of it will be covered in the feature presentation training. However, I would like all the coordinators to go back and have a look, because the Secretary Treasurer comes up with a 6-week schedule of what speakers, who are the speakers who will be speaking. So you have an advanced timeline to help them to prepare this. Remind the member to find out from the chapter what the member does, the chapter wants to know about them. Prepare the topic sentence and create an ask. The time they can spend on to help themselves is to ask the chapter to bring the context spheres that they are looking for into the meeting for their showcase. And your role is to help them at least 2 weeks in advance to rehearse with a script. And this is especially important for all the members who are very afraid of public speaking. Right now is the chance to get it right, because right now you don't even know if I'm reading from a script. Am I right? I can be staring at the camera and I can be reading from a script. And right now we have to rehearse with them so that in the script they are able to conform to the timing and be able to say everything that actually matters. And last but not least, ensure the speaker invites a visitor. So this is one of the examples of what a PTF can help a member. Just imagine today I send you this EDM from this guy that you probably don't know, assuming you don't know him. And his EDM says, how to sell a plate of chicken rice for $50. Now, whoever is interested to find out about this topic, can you put a 111 into the chat right now? As a business owner, it doesn't matter if you are in the chicken rice trade, You see, when such a catchy title actually comes out, you are interested to want to find out how to do it. And then I will reveal to you, he is actually a photographer in Steadfast chapter. He's actually a photographer. He doesn't even sell chicken rice. And then his catchy tagline, and who he's asking for is looking to connect with F&B owners who wants to make their food look like $500 per plate. So these are some of the things that the PTF can be helping the members to create a strong and catchy ICANN message. Help them specify their target audience and rehearse with them the script, and to remember that because there is a limited time, we do not want them to have too many slides. We want them to be precise. A guideline can be an 8-minute presentation, shouldn't be more than 12 slides. And ensure that the presenter invites visitors himself or herself and brings a relatable draw gift. Because the draw gift is supposed to be for the members who have helped bring referrals and visitors to the chapter. And if he or she actually brings a relatable draw gift, it reminds the members who receive the gift that, hey, today you won this because of my presentation. It should be something relatable and not something that's generic. So feel free to experiment with EDMs, with props, liven up, because even in your mini screen over here, you can do a lot to attract the attention of the members. As well as some of the different ways of doing it can be in a conversational bubble, Q&A style. It doesn't have to be always all text. It can be what you listen out for, what you can say, and etc. So these are some of the ways the PTF can help the member to have a more wholesome and enriching presentation. Okay. So the next part would be for the power team coordinator, and I find that this is one of the ways to reward performing members in the chapter. Earlier today, we have learned that there are different ways the growth coordinator can help to grow the chapter in terms of quality, and the power team coordinator is a person who can by statistics a very powerful stimulus to grow the chapter. But when do you want to start doing that? When the chapter size is more than 35. Now let me explain the rationale behind why we are doing this as a power team coordinator. A performing power team coordinator is able to assist a chapter which maybe has most traits filled. But what can this person do? This person can actually find out from the members themselves which are some of the traits that work closely with you and are able to give you more referrals that are not in the chapter right now. Because maybe sometimes the LT can only look at the big picture and look at what are the traits that are not filled. However, for some of the chapters, some of the traits, they may have certain niches that have not been completed, and they can actually help them to find out how to invite them to join the chapter. And it's also one of the ways to help performing green members who are not getting the referral or done deals that they want. So an example of what a power team actually is a group of business owners who share the same clients, target markets, and context sphere with symbiotic relationship. So what's the difference between a context sphere and a power team? I'd like to use this chance to reiterate this. So for example, a context sphere relationship can be those who say that, oh, I'm in the residential housing. I may have an interior designer who can pass business to an air conditioning specialist. And I may have a property agent who may close a deal and pass it to an interior designer. However, these are not reciprocal. Means that they are only going to be passing them on like a hot potato at different stages of the transaction. But a power team is a group of business owners who can actually go in to serve a particular customer at the same stage of the transaction. Example, a business owner who wants to go digital, can they subscribe to the business to the services of a web designer, videographer, a musician, an MC, a designer, etc. at the same time? So know the difference between a power team and a context sphere. This training is not going to be in-depth, and in fact, this power team training can be done on a chapter level that you can consult your director consultant. But in essence, the power team coordinator is there to assist to find out how to grow power teams within the chapter members. So go and find out from the existing chapter members who are they lacking. And then appoint a leader that keeps track of the contributions of each member and advise them to have structured one-to-ones within the power team that is on top of the one-to-ones that they are doing with the rest of the chapter. And one of the growth events that can be done is a power team focus day where they educate the rest of the chapter to help them invite the missing trait that will complete the power team to increase the number of referrals and done deals generated. And of course, the coordinator should also recommend if members are not suitable or suitable for certain power teams. So these are some of the examples. I do not want to go into much detail for here, but it's room for consideration. So one member should be devoted, and the coordinator should make sure that each member is only devoted to one power team for 6 months and have an accountability meeting, so much so that they are able to share a minimum number of connections, because we want everyone to be givers to the team instead of takers. And like what Lawrence has mentioned just now, a power date can be a combined pitch to target clients. So that is what the presentation task force and the power team coordinator can help to spend a little bit of time, gel this into clockwork, and then help our existing members to get more referrals and done deals done. That's all for my segment, and over to you, Jonathan.
Great, thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay. And right, and it's about, there's two sections they covered, right? You know what I like about this training by Jay was all the EDM he shared, right? Do you agree? You know, if you agree, give a thumbs up, a visual thumbs up, right? That you can be creative, inviting, yes? And then the other thing, of course, is the power team. So power team right now, we are training more on a chapter basis, but I may do one probably on a national level, right? Thank you, Jay, for sharing that. Definitely is very useful. You know what? Today, it seems like a crash course of all the trainings, right? It's like the teaser, right? The teaser, or rather the trailer for the entire training. So, Jay, if you can put in the next feature presentation or the weekly presentation dates, so that our events people are notified, so they can enroll the whole entire chapter to join in. All right, thank you, Jay. Definitely, Jay is very interesting. You can, what he shared is interesting. You'd like to know more, please have a one-to-one with him. Yeah. So I will share before Jay comes on, right, about the core of ethics. Let's display a positive and subjective attitude for our members, our members, also the business owners around us, because why? That will attract positive people into the chapter. When you display positive and supportive attitude, you attract the right people, okay, to the chapter. And this is another part. Let's keep calm and respect people around us. The national office is here to support. We will not tolerate any verbal abuse or harassment of our staff or our members, because you are our clients. So the vice president of chapter has the right to issue control letters if national office receives any complaint, right? This is just to highlight to all of you. Next, what is it in for me when I'm part of the LT team, like all of you? One thing for sure, all of you here are movers and shakers. Can you type M and S, MS, movers and shakers, right? Because that's why you're in this team. Ashley, right? Nalini, David, Jay, Zubin is here. Zubin is in the house, and Renee, right, from Future, and Richard. We have Richard also. We have James and Reinhardt. Okay, Tommy. So what is it in for me? I'm just going to share, right? Because number one, you create visibility for yourself when you're holding an appointment. Okay, like Casey is holding appointment for events, and then he's encouraging people to go training or social events, right? Next, you, in the eyes of a new member, newcomer, you are a leader. That's why you get the ribbon next to your name tag. Thirdly, the application of leadership that you learn here can be applied into your organization, right? Like I said about retention, remember retention, right? And or John Maxwell's book, right? I highly encourage all of you to read that book. Fantastic. Yeah. And number 4, as a leader, we create and build a chapter's culture. All of you here, movers and shakers, build and create the chapter's culture. And then you are in a member's story. When you give out that referral, when you make the connection over from during the training here, right, whether be it ice cream, be it cleaning, or be it magic, right, or be it presenting and sharing, you are in a member's story. I'd like to thank all of you for your commitment to serve and to lead your chapter to greater heights, right? To greater heights. Because why? It is all of you that's supporting the pillar, right? That's supporting the pillar of the chapters. Last but not least, I'll share this again. One vision, one Singapore, one BNI. 1688 members 2021. And this is the theme for this year. National Conference, our Singapore National Conference. This is the theme. If it is to be, it's up to me. Can you all type it in? If it is to be, it's up to me. Right? And this is the theme, right, for BNI Singapore SMD Convention on the National Conference. If it is to be, it's not up to my president. It is not up to my secretary treasurer. It's not up to my events person. It's not up to my DC. It's not up to Jonathan. It's not up to Chris Yam. It's not up to Desmond. It's not up to Tommy. It is me. If it is to be, it's up to me. Because why? If I am committed to bring my chapter to